Hey everybody, we're here in the studio with Israeli artist Tomer Peretz, who was in Israel on October 7th and has a story to tell that you don't want to miss. You're more than just an artist, you're a humanitarian who rushed to the scene to help your country, to help your people, and it's incredible. I found you on Instagram, so social media does do service for good in the world, and I've just been following your journey. Tell us what happened and why you were in Israel, because you live in Los Angeles. Why were you in Israel on October 7th?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. Good morning. Yeah, I was in Israel already on October 2nd with my two young kids, Ziv and Roy, and we went to a wedding, and it was like half wedding, half kind of a boys trip. And we happened to be in Tel Aviv on October 7th in the morning, and we woke up to the siren when the alarm went off. And yeah, we ran into the safe room like everybody else. It was supposed to be a fun trip that turned into a nightmare.
A nightmare. And what happened for you then? Did you try and get the first flight out to come home?
No, so when the war broke, you know, I spoke with so many friends, a lot of people, and I served in the military. And the day before, I've met some friends that served with me in the military 20 years ago, and everybody were waiting to go on uniform and like to the reserves, right? And I don't do reserve. I don't live in Israel for 20 years. And I start to text every person I know, what can I do to help out? And look, everybody did it. My brother, my sister, everybody were like, we want to help. Like everybody wanted to help. And a lot of people even just drove south without even getting any information. And by the way, some of them even saved a lot of people, and some of them died. So it was a moment when I think the entire nation was all about helping. And it was already on Saturday and Sunday. The first people who got back to me with a positive answer was my friend from Zaka, which very surprising. They never do that. Like they will never let you.
What is Zaka for people who don't know?
So Zaka is an amazing a nonprofit organization who operate in Israel and outside Israel, any country that has a disaster, and they're specializing with evacuating and bringing the dead body to a barrier. So and they deal with pretty much the darkest stuff that any human can even imagine. So they worked in Ukraine, they worked in Turkey, they worked in Haiti, they worked in every disaster in the world. Israel is sending a group of people to go and help, and that's some of them are Zaka. So this is what they do, even in a terrorist attack in Israel. So I have a friend who's volunteering over there for many years, and he didn't like the idea at the beginning, but he was positive, and he brought me over, and I think I got to him in a moment when they knew that it's bigger than they thought, and they needed some help.
So you volunteered with Zaka, and what did you do? What were you doing with Zaka?
Clearing out all dead bodies, pretty much, and was a lot. So you know, to get it, to clear out a dead body, there's a lot of work into it. There's a lot. There's equipment, and there's, you know, it's a very tough work. So not a lot of people are even able to do that. So it's not that I learned how to do it before I did it. I just follow instructions of like lift the hand, lift the leg, and stuff like that. I was just follower. Wow. I follow every direction they gave me because they had more experience, and because everything was under rockets flying above us. There is no training, and you do this. It was like we were into a war zone. Like it's a war zone. There's shooting, there's fire all over, and you just need to get the dead bodies out of the houses.
Unbelievable. So you were walking into these kibbutzim where people were massacred, and you were finding dead bodies. But what did you do? I mean, I saw the videos that you shared where you walked in and just saw burned bodies,
Yeah.
bodies that were just burned alive.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it.
Yeah.
It's real.
Of course it's real.
It's real. Well, there's so many people out there who are saying, no, this is Israeli propaganda. This didn't happen. This is a false narrative. And you were there. You took these bodies of people.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's you know, when I hear the whole denying thing, some part of me getting sad and upset, and the other part of me is like, it doesn't matter what you're gonna do. Hate is hate. It doesn't matter what that body you're gonna show them, because if it's a photo, they will tell you it's Photoshop. If it's a video, they tell you it's production. They tell you it's a doll. They tell you it's stuffed animal. It's stuffed bag. Like whatever you're gonna do, they're gonna find a way to express their Jewish hate. That's how I see it. So I'm not trying to convince people who don't want to listen. You know, I'm on my own, and it's okay if most of people outside don't love us. It's okay.
But what's so beautiful with the Jewish people is that you went and you volunteered so that you could bring these bodies.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Zaka.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, it's look, you know, I don't feel what you feel. All right. I don't see it as incredible as you see it. You know, I see it as an typical Israeli instinct. And I know a lot of people that would do the same. They just were not in the right time, and they just didn't happen to do it. I wanted even to stay more and keep helping. You know, I volunteered with Zaka. I don't do reserve. Most of my friends, they're fighting in Gaza. So I don't feel the whole incredible thing. I actually feel the opposite. I wish I could do even more.
That's the beauty of the Israeli culture of the Jewish people, is that, like you said, a whole nation was rising up together to
Yes.
help one another, and you were there, and you were a part of it,
Yeah.
and you're still a part of it.
Yeah.
You're still continuing beyond what you did with Zaka now in the United States as an artist. Can you tell us what you're doing with your live installation?
So let's start with my life completely changed, and I hope for good. And everything I do right now is about this. I'm creating about that, which this is what I do for a living, and I'm investing all of my time to show what I've seen in an art forms. So the live art installation was on a few weeks ago in Los Angeles in Grant Park. We had around 1,000 people to demonstrate how a massacre looks like. Not necessarily exactly how the massacre looks like in Nova, but the idea of just to show the concept, to show the atrocities. I don't think we were even close to even show what I've seen. It was not even close. But it's a beginning. And it was so successful on the views and the viral thing. A lot of people were exposed to it. It was not successful out of my point to show what I've seen. But we are having one more project in Miami this coming weekend in Art Basel, and that's going to be also very interesting.
So you do a live art installation where you have 1,000 people who are the victims of the Nova Festival, kind of through your eyes.
Yeah.
And now you're continuing to try and show through your artwork what you've seen. How is that process for you? I mean, how do you go through seeing, dead bodies of your people who've been massacred? How do you, as an artist, how do you even translate that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. I'm asking myself the same questions. How can I do this? I just do. I have no idea.
I mean, I'm talking to you, and as a mother, I don't sleep at night because of what's happened. We're still mourning, and I haven't seen it firsthand. You have. So I just don't know how it's digestible. I don't know how I don't know how you live day to day after
Look,
you've seen what you've seen, you know?
I don't think it's a moment to even digest anything. I don't think it's even a moment to understand what's going on. We are in the middle of a war, and that's how I feel. I'm in the middle of a war, and I'm not even thinking about should I sleep, should I rest. I'm all the way in, you know. It's like you're fighting Gaza, and you're all the way in. You don't think about how tired you are. You're all the way in, and that's how I feel. I don't think about the whole what will happen to my mental health. I'm not even there, you know. And I do get a lot of questions and a lot of support from people and different therapists who want to speak. I'm not there. I'll be honest with you. I'm still fighting, and I'm fighting in a different way.
Right.
And I'm not looking for a resting moment. I'm not looking for to digest or to understand. I'm fighting for my people, for my family, for my identity, and I will do everything it takes to complete my missions and my goals.
I appreciate that, and I see it. I see it in your eyes. I see it in the work that you're doing. Now, if you switch hats to being a father, because you're also a husband, and you're a father to 3 young children.
Yeah.
So how do you, at the end of the day, when your kids come through the door after school, how do you fill that role as a father? And right before we spoke,
It's the toughest part in the whole story, because you know, in one side, one way you want to save your brothers and sisters in your identity and the world, and in another hand, you have some people who really need you, and I'm not home a lot. I'm working on this 24/7. I have a wife who actually making that happen. Let's put it that way. I'm not the best father I wanted to be as far as my existence at home right now, but it's the toughest part. I can tell you that I don't talk about that a lot about at home. In a very brief. As a kid, I was growing up into this conflict, and it was in my home the whole time, in my neighborhood. I grew up to it.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Southeast Jerusalem. So I grew up in between 2 Muslim villages, where every time I left my door, even when I was 10 years old, it was a knife in my pocket just to make sure that I'm not going to get attacked, because we used to get attacked daily basis. And I'm talking to you about 30 years ago. So this is something that no one speaks about, but this is really happening. We used to get into a fight with the Muslims like every weekend on the soccer court. So I'm used to it, but I don't want my kids to be used to it. I want my kids to have different life, and that's why I moved to the state. That's why I created my totally, completely different life, and I love it. And but now I'm in a mission. Now I have a job to do, and I'm trying not to involve my kids too much in this. I don't know if it's the right thing, or I just don't feel like they need to know what I see and what I talk about every day.
Right. So your wife is keeping the home front down while you're completing your mission to do what you need to do for yourself and for your people. And at the same time trying to stay in your love space, because you said that. You said there's no room for hate. This is all about love.
It's all about love. I'm not even talking about hate. It's not about revenge or hate. It's about living in peace. And you know, I spoke about getting into fight as a kid, but I also had a lot of friends, Muslims, and up until now I have a lot of Muslims friends, and I love them. Actually, one of them I just met like a week ago, and we sat, and it was amazing. We didn't even get into the war thing. So I wish people could see that we just want to live in peace, and we are willing to live in peace. I'm not coming into a war to fight someone. I'm protecting my identity. You know, there is a big difference between attacking and believing in killing someone, or just, I don't believe in killing anyone. I just believe in protecting myself. And that's what I'm fighting for.
Thank you. Thank you for fighting and standing for what you believe in, because I think protecting yourself, protecting your identity, who you are as a husband and a father and an artist, as a Jew, to be proud of who you are takes a lot right now. It's not easy in the world that we're living in.
Thank you.
So your voice has been really important. Please continue to do what you're doing. We're looking forward to seeing all the art that you will create to share all these atrocities that you've seen. And we look forward to seeing all the great work that you'll be doing coming in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Peretz.
Amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank
For
you.
all of you who don't follow Tomer, he's got great art and great insight into what it is to be an Israeli and to live here now in the United States. Make sure to follow him and join us next time right here on Moms Matter.